to talk about how we organize our communities. We can see the effects of hierarchy like in our day-to-day conversations. So to me, it's really about challenging that hierarchy, because if you organize your communities and you don't challenge hierarchy, it will like cater to the ego and it will solidify power at some point. So my goal is to keep it as horizontal as possible. So while doing that and organizing our communities and building power, what we'll be doing is decentralizing power to create enough power and force to challenge the state. Because what's happened is the capitalists have infiltrated government, and it's not just about the government, it's about the bureaucracy at this point. At this point, the bureaucracy really caters to like the interests of the privileged, right? So when you go to these court systems and you go to all these things, it's a bunch of privileged people that have gotten access to power that are holding on to it for their livelihood. So what we do is a dual strategy of building the alternative. So while we're organizing our communities, we're simultaneously communizing space. That makes our organizing more effective. We're simultaneously engaging in mutual aid, building alternative networks of support and safer spaces for agitators and revolutionaries throughout the country and throughout the world. So, and that mutual aid between groups should be done between communists and socialists and anarchists. It shouldn't just be done according to ideology. We should start that now. We can and should start that now. And we can and should start planning for the general strike next year. So I would say that while we're doing that and while we're building enough power to challenge the state, because like, yes, our common goal right here is to abolish capitalism. But right now, capitalism, we have a capitalist democracy. We have a capitalist state. It's completely infiltrated it. If we build enough power to smash capitalism, and we've done that through organizing our communities, why would we then reinstitute a state? Why wouldn't we then set ourselves to the task of building the new society through our communities, when if the communities have already been empowered to revolt together? And this could still be like an organized, decentralized force that would come together to protect and not have any vested, institutionalized power that would persevere. So when we work together, real quick, the reason why we disagree is because we measure success differently. We need to stop doing that. We need to band together. We need to do that to combat the dominant liberal narrative. And the dominant liberal narrative that is enabling the fascism that is growing in this country. There's fascism in this country. And it's like, we need to take direct action, and people are taking direct action right now and agitating in the streets right now across this entire country. And like, that is how we do it. But we also do it by taking direct action in our lives and in our organizations and in our interpersonal relationships, because we are going to reproduce the communities that we want through the revolutionary process so we need to be aware that we're reproducing it as we go.
Okay, we are living a historical period right now, and all of us at this panel do agree on a lot of things. One of the things that we agree is that we need communism. All of us here agree with that, and I think that's very important. And to the question about what we do now is, Ed said, wake up in the morning and think how you're going to serve the working class. I'm paraphrasing, serve the community. That's what we need to do now. Every day we need to wake up and figure out how in every fight back, whether it's a cutbacks in the schools, in the universities, in wages, in every fight back, we have to go in there and clarify to the people who are fighting that reforms under fascism, under capitalism in crisis will not work, and that ultimately what needs to happen is that we need to mobilize the masses for communism. Secondly, soldiers and industrial workers are key for revolution. So any effort that we can do to increase that work about organizing soldiers and industrial works it becomes necessary. And thirdly is providing a communist vision to the masses. If people are fighting back the attacks of capitalism, the austerity measures, and everything that we are faced with that capitalism brings upon us, and if we fight to struggle to unite the broad masses who are in motion and are fighting back, unite the broad masses on the most radical basis that they can be mobilized. And that basis in which to unite these masses is to mobilize them for communism, and those are my comments. Okay. Well, lastly, I just encourage everybody to think about everything that we've saying, and that we must look at the past. We have to look at the past revolutions, examine them scientifically, learn from their advances, learn from their mistakes, and move forward to mobilize the masses for communism. Thank you.
A little bit, like now I'm in the sun and Ed's about to be in the sun.
You're just being a little mini circle.
Before we start taking questions, maybe we can rearrange so that more people can